Hello and happy Monday, everybody. Here in the Marble Survival 100, that means the start of a brand new week, the farthest you can get from being eliminated, and perhaps the safest that you will be all week. But with every Monday comes a brand new track and new challenges that will trip up some of our competitors that could send them down the pathway to being in jeopardy in the bottom two after race number 1 of 7 this week. What will this track be like? Well, there we see the obstacles in their names. We'll have to see how they work as they come down the course. We've seen a couple of these before, although the spinning maces sounds particularly devious. For those remaining competitors, we are rolling. And down we come in the race to survive. It was team primary for a little bit. That got off to a nice start. Here are the fidget spinners early on in the course this time when the field is still very bunched up. Not too many super hard hits. They managed to do a little less damage than what we anticipated. Going down here, bumping against that Gauss arrow. Packs a lot of energy here. So do these ball bearings that are just in turn whacking back and forth. The Savage Speeders and the O'Rangers particularly. There are those spinning maces. This is the official name for a contraption that has had quite a few interesting names over time. O'Rangers get the win, by the way, but who farther on back will find themselves in danger? You see a slightly redesigned battering ram after we had a marble get stuck under it before. Our Ghost Marble is coming down. Ghost Marble will actually beat, I think, the final two across the line, pending any DNFs. We'll have to wait and see if that is official timing and scoring. Good run to the line for those two, O'Rangers and Team Momo. Hard hit there from Raspberry Racers coming across too. And no, those two were the final runners. Frost and Swax, Gliding Glaciers, and the Bumblebees. They make up our bottom two after the first race of this week. O'Rangers sit atop the standings in front of Momo, obviously. Same thing with Raspberry Racers. Who else surprised you? Maybe it's Team Galactic in 5th? I wouldn't have guessed that. Minty Maniacs down there in 10th. Indigo Stars in 15th. And behind them, Snowballs, Purple Rockets, Limers, Gliding Glaciers, and the Bumblebees. Still 6 races to go this week, so plenty of time for you to make up. And of course, as always is the case, teams will meet tonight and analyze the results of this race. They'll watch footage to try to figure out where are some opportunities for improvement or for getting your fellow competitors into a bit of trouble. Six races remain before the next elimination round in the Marble Survival 100, which just so happens to be the midway point as well. Can you believe we are almost 50 races in? Wow, what a fantastic tournament this has been. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This is our new track that we got a taste of yesterday for the very first time. Marbles seeing mostly familiar devices in front of them, but in a slightly different layout. As a result, that first race, always a bit of randomness. O'Rangers and Team Momo had a race across the line. Raspberry Racers joined in as well with some contact. At the back of the field, quite off the back, were Gliding Glaciers and the Bumblebees. But if you're Snowballs, Purple Rockets, Limers, anybody back in that range, you have to start feeling that you need to get going and make sure that that is washed quickly out of your system before any habits develop during this week. Off we go on the race to survive. Past those initial peaks, down onto the snowplows. Now they work their way through the maze. Past the swatter, you also see the popsicle barriers that were up there. They did not trip, however. These fidget spinners did. Oh, there goes the swatter. Marbles managing to avoid that. They're nudging up against the Gauss arrow, but not setting it off yet. I don't even know if we saw it set off yesterday either. Well, this time at the back of the pack, it looks like the Thunderbolts are back there with the Gliding Glaciers. Unless there's any marbles farther on back. Everybody opting to the low side here. The ball bearing's already been tripped. Thunderbolts trying to get going. Oh, there goes the spinning maces. Oh, a couple of hard hits on that top side there. Solid up against those sweepers, too. Several marbles getting sent backwards. Nearly everybody has finished on a race to the line now. The Ghost Marble overtakes the Thunderbolts as they come through. Oh, wait, one more left. Interesting. So that was not our last place finisher. Wait, is somebody else? Where have they been? What was that? Well, this was a rather interesting finish there. Indigo Stars, they crossed the line first and almost came back across the finish line. What was happening with Rojo Rollers? They were so far behind the Chocolatiers, I was ready to say Chocolatiers came in last, but they did not. Rojo Uno, I think, finally decided that it was time to finish this race after gleeful, happy stroll somewhere. Team Momo leads the way after 2 races by 2 points over the Savage Speeders. 1 point then back to the O'Rangers. Raspberry Racers, they stay up there in the top 5 too. Down at the bottom, Gliding Glaciers, another disappointing finish. The Limers sit down there in second to last. Rojo Rollers, Snowballs, Chocolatiers, Purple Rockets, all back there in the bottom 5 after race 2 of 7. There are 20 teams that remain in the Marble Survival 100. After this week, will your team be among the surviving 18? You'll have to stay tuned, subscribe, and find out. Yesterday's race showed the importance of going all the way to the line as fast as you can, no matter how you think you may be running. For teams that were toward the bottom of the order, they felt like they were dueling to get off of last place, but then came the Chocolatiers a little ways off the back of the pack. They continued their speed up across the line, even though they probably felt they were in dead last. However, the Rojo Rollers were somewhere for quite a while in that race and were miles off the pace. They came across the line in last, and even in the midst of competition, you don't always know who DNF'd up above you. Well, we haven't seen any DNFs so far through 2 rounds of this week. Will we see any today? Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Limers and Gliding Glaciers are back there in the bottom 2, although Rojo Rollers are tied with the Limers on 8 points. Several teams feeling the heat, moving up just a bit on the thermostat for race number 45, and it is go in the Marble Survival 100. Chocolatiers get a bit of a shove from the O'Rangers and dawdle back there a bit, but I think Raspberry Racers were also well behind. Rojo Rollers are trying to flip the script this time around and prove that that was quite a bit of a fluke yesterday. Oh, a few marbles benefiting actually from the fidget spinners being sent forward. Nobody tripping the Gauss arrow quite yet, I don't believe, although it is wiggling back and forth precariously. The Limers are in a battle with ball bearings up front. They're trying to get out ahead of them, and they did. Bit of a gap, but then they get caught on that green pyramid. Underneath the mace, the Limers are stuck on the mace. If that centrifuge gets going, they're fine, but they're losing spots. All right, there it goes. And it throws them forward, perhaps mercifully. Down across the line. It's a nice run for Minty Maniacs. They come through. And who is farther on back? There's Gliding Glaciers, Raspberry Racers. They come through a little faster. Oh, hey, we do have several off the back of the pack. They're the O'Rangers. They were stuck for a while, and their pace totally different. No DNFs. Minty Maniacs get the win over Team Momo, who've been running pretty well. Rojo Rollers, that's a nice bounce back. Credit to them. I think they were a little embarrassed after yesterday. Slime Lime for the Limers coming through in 4th. They needed those points. Now they no longer sit in the bottom 2, I would have to think. Momo is at the top of the field. 21, 19, and 21. That's good consistency over the Savage Speeders and Minty Maniacs. Indigo Stars up in 4th, O'Rangers in 5th, even with that 1-point finish. Limers vault up to 16th now, and it's the Snowballs and the Gliding Glaciers, our 2 cold teams, that sit at the bottom of the order. 2 points separate the Snowballs from the Chocolatiers. Then it's Purple Rockets and up to the Limers. Rojo Rollers sit in 15th. Nice recovery for them, too. Well, just 4 races remain until the next elimination round, and 1 more beyond that is the official midway point in the Marble Survival 100. Thanks for joining us so far. We hope you'll stick around for the rest. midpoint of the week already. And for two teams, that means that they only have a couple more races left before elimination in the Marble Survival 100. Is your team one of them, or will yours live to race next week? Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This track has been interesting. I know we tempt fate when we say there have been no DNFs so far in this course. The teams have actually been navigating it pretty well. Still, it can deliver some impacts. Team Momo making an impact at the front of the field right now with superb consistency. 3 podium finishes in 3 races. That's exactly what you want to do to see your name in green sooner than everybody else's. Snowballs and Gliding Glaciers sit at the bottom of the order, but could today be the day that they turn things around and get out into safety? Down we go. And who will it be? Through the initial stratification devices. Gliding Glaciers are unfortunately back there as well. Oh, I think we have Rojo Rollers. They were caught. And I think the Ghost Marble missed them. Rojo Rollers were stuck very high up on the course. And unless they got going again by some miracle, they were not moving. Oh man, after a great recovery. We'll have to see if anybody nudged them or if they got going again. Well, there is the Ghost Marble. Snowballs are also back there. Pinkies fighting with Orangers who just get by Raspberry Racers. Now they come down under the mace. They tiptoe under it, try not to start it moving. Limers got stuck on it yesterday. Oh, is that? There's a marble caught on the trigger spring as well. Raspberry Racers, I believe, were stuck. Now they are going again, but they've been hit backwards. They've been hit twice, 3 times. Now they go forward. The Limers are receiving the brunt of that not-so-merry-go-round. The Limers come across the line. Well, I had to tempt fate by saying it. I am sorry, but we have 3 DNFs. The Savage Speeders, Rojo Rollers, and Gliding Glaciers. So Frost must have gotten caught pretty high up there. Look at that. So Savage Speeders, they are in 5th, even with that 0. Momo hangs on to the lead. Orangers into 2nd. Team Galactic, Indigo Stars are also up there. Bottom part of the order, Oceanics in 15th. Purple Rockets, Limers have dropped closer to the danger zone. So have Rojo Rollers. And it remains Snowballs and Gliding Glaciers in the back 2. Gliding Glaciers yet to break into the double digits. 2, 4, 3, and 0-point finishes through the first half of this week. Still time for teams to recover, but several will be licking their wounds after this one. For others, it is their dignity that is hurt. I will take some responsibility for the DNFs that we had yesterday because I just had to mention it in the pre-race that we had not had any over the course of this entire week. Apologies to the teams that did get caught up yesterday, so I'm going to say today we're going to have a bunch of DNFs. I think probably the whole field's probably just going to DNF. See if that helps. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Well, this track is an interesting one. Our competitors are learning as they go, but at the same time, the pressure is ramping up. 3 races remain until the next elimination round, and at the bottom of the order, Snowballs and Gliding Glaciers, they sit back there. It's a 2-point difference between Rojo Rollers and Snowballs, and then quite some distance to Gliding Glaciers. Team Momo up front have been pretty consistent, as have several of the top 3 teams, but who will be the first to get their name etched in green and guarantee their safety into next week? Off we go once again. It is Savage Speeders and Team Momo battling for last place. This is where 2 marbles got caught yesterday. Here come the fidget spinners. Only the top one triggered so far. Glancing glow off of the bottom one, but now it gets going. Oh, sent backwards. We did have one. Was that Indigo Stars that got sent in the opposite direction? Looks like they may have recovered a bit. Savage Speeders in last, working their way through the waves. That is a longer pathway to take. The ball bearing on the bottom is saying, "You shall not pass," hitting marbles backwards. Gliding Glaciers are trying to take advantage of everybody else getting caught back there. They need a nice result. They get by the mace without triggering it, but the Pinkies do. across the line. Well, that should help the Gliding Glaciers, certainly. Team Galactic, that makes them feel a bit better. Underneath the battering ram. Oh, look at farther back here. Look at up top. The Mace is still delivering hits. Savage Speeders, they do get by, but at least one team is still up there. Can't quite tell who that is yet. It is Indigo Stars. Wow, once that thing gets going, it has power and it has, perhaps worse, persistence. Indigo Stars and Savage Speeders felt the brunt of that. Team Galactic beats Gliding Glaciers across the line. Swax from Team Bumblebees gets third in front of Momo, Chocolatiers, and Mellow Yellow. Chocolatiers, they needed a good result. Momo have done it. They are safe and will make it to next week. The only team to do so after race 5 of 7 in this week of the Marble Survival 100. Team Galactic, they are close, as are the Orangers. The Snowballs have gone up out of the bottom 2. The Rojo Rollers have dropped. They are still in front of Frost from the Gliding Glaciers, but 21 points, that really catches the Glaciers up to the rest of the field. That was quite a sizable gap prior to this. Now it's just 4 points. We could have quite a few teams that are in danger of elimination if this trend continues. Make sure you don't miss a minute. One team is safe. One race remains before we get to the elimination round. How many others will find their names in green after round 48 of the Marble Survival 100? Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Well, this track has always drawn the spectators. Fans coming out in droves, supporting their teams, rooting them on. The teams being quite strategic with sometimes where they try to put their fans or where their fans assemble in this stadium. Do you need that early boost, or do you want to be rallied across the line? A lot of that is fan-driven, and it does make a difference. Rojo Rollers and Gliding Glaciers sit in the bottom 2. Snowballs have been down there pretty much all week and only just got themselves out. The Limers have also precariously hovered toward the back of the field. Who will do what it takes to get into the upper half, to get to safety, perhaps a guaranteed advancement? Race 48 is go! Chocolatiers and the Pinkies were shuffled back there along with Mellow Yellow. They are at the back of the field. Savage Speeders, who were dealt some heavy blows by the Mace, they are trying to get out in front and stay there, but the Fidget Spinner knocks them backwards. The Swatter also comes down and catches Snowballs and Pinkies up on the top side. There goes the Gauss Arrow, but it did not do anything. Mellow Yellow, they try to sneak by, but can't quite do it. Oh, Thunderbolt's almost getting caught on the arrow, but they managed to move on. The ball bearing on the bottom side, swatting marbles backwards. 3, 4 of them getting hits. Team Primary, they lead as they come down here toward this Mace, which was devastating yesterday. Underneath the battering ram, Savage Speeders are trying to make a run across the line. Let's see who else will benefit. There it goes. The Mace is also continuing to spin. The battering ram catches out the Limers, knocks them backwards. 2, 3 hits. The Limers are going to be well off the back here, I think along with the Pinkies. And that is not the result, if it stands, that the Limers needed. No, they are in dead last. Team Primary wins the race over Chocolatiers. That will give them some breathing room. Same thing with Savage Speeders. Raspberry Racers up there in 4th. C from the Oceanics can also be found. Here was the Mace. Oh, look at that getting caught. 2 marbles are caught on the Mace at this moment. A couple of glances off of that spring before it finally starts to turn. That had to feel like ages for those marbles. Look at all the green we have now. At least down through 10th. Momo, Primary, Orangers, Galactic, Chocolatiers, Bumblebees, Speeders, Raspberry Racers, Mellow Yellow, and Indigo Stars. You are all safe. It is the bottom half of the field that remains in danger. 10 teams as we head into the final round of this week that are in danger. Limers and Rojo Rollers, are now at the bottom of the order. The Rojo Rollers, my goodness, they have had great weeks. This one is dismal. Will they find enough in their reserves tomorrow to be able to avoid elimination and race onward? Anything can happen as we near round 49. It all comes down to this for the marbles in the bottom half of the field. 10 teams out of 10 are safe. The rest will be fighting today to avoid elimination. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Yes, this is race 49. We are on the precipice of halfway in the Marble Survival 100. But for two teams, their journey will come just short of the half century. Who will it be? We have had ups and downs this entire week. Several teams, good consistency up top, but you look among them and there's the occasional 1 or a 0 up there. Down at the bottom, it is Limers and Rojo Rollers that are at the back of the field. Gliding Glaciers are tied with Limers. There are several ways that this could go. Will your team be safe? Are they all ready? Or does it all come down to how they finish here? Who will live to fight another week? We are off. The Rojo Rollers were back in the back half of the order as they come down through this maze. Past the swatter. Ball bearings deliver a hit to the Pinkies, and several others are actually moved forward. Now they begin to wane just a bit. Savage Speeders down on that bottom line. They are trying to get off into the distance. Snowballs are catching up with the Pinkies. The Rangers, Limers, they are also a little bit farther up, I believe. Yes, there they are. Can they get by these ball bearings? Yes, now they are in the upper half of the order. Fighting up front past those pyramids. Now they come into the mace. The Snowballs are stuck. The Pinkies are stuck. Now it begins to spin. What happens? Down across the line, we've got several good races going. Here are the Limers in the midst of it all. Gliding Glaciers, where are they? Snowballs have finished. And there goes the battering ram. And we'll wait for the math. By my estimation, a couple of those teams that were in a precarious situation have done enough. Mellow Yellow come last. Rojo Rollers come second to last. They are almost certainly eliminated. Gliding Glaciers, oh, they finished down in 17th. And so, eliminated here in Event 7 of this week. Rojo Rollers and the Gliding Glaciers. Team Momo wins the week over Bumblebees and Team Galactic. Congratulations to Momomo, Swax, and Starry. But for the fans of those two teams at the bottom of the order, it was not meant to be. They had some great moments over the course of these 49 rounds. Saw them move up and down the order, sometimes into the danger zone, only to find themselves safe at the end of the week. This time, however, it was not to be. By 8 points, the Limers are safe, and the Thunderbolts, Snowballs, Jungle Jumpers up above them. Frost and Rojo Uno, the latter being the captain of the Rojo Rollers, they are done. They finish in 19th and 20th in the Marble Survival 100. For everybody else, they will take a quick breath and see what colorful track awaits them tomorrow as we begin a new week. All of the scores are wiped and we go back to 0.